Oh, hey guys, check this out. Pause, did you notice what happened there? Looks smooth, right? What if I told you there was only one frame in between those two positions? This is a smear frame. It's the animator's way of simulating motion blur, and it works wonders. If you're like me and hate actually animating, you probably prefer just drawing out keyframes and taking this slideshow approach to making animated videos, where you only draw out the start and end frame. But lately, I've realized the true potential of smear frames. Sure, this would look better with a couple more frames in there, but that's a lot more work. Using a single smear frame keeps the animation looking smooth without needing more than just one additional frame. So let me show you how to animate using smear frames. Then later in the video, I have a secret tactic to make this even smoother without drawing anything else. So stay tuned. But for now, let's learn how to use smear frames. Alright, so you're going to have your first frame here and your last frame there. Then you're going to insert a keyframe in between these two. Now you can see the start and end position with the onion skin, and you're basically just going to make an in-between frame. And I like to give it a little bit of a curve sometimes, because I find that looks a bit nicer. Like it looks like he's kind of bobbing down and then going into this position, rather than just going straight into that position. And because it's a smear frame, it doesn't have to look good at all. For example, this one that I made recently, it looks absolutely arse cheeks, but it doesn't have to look good. It just has to do its job, and its job is to simulate motion blur. You can also tell that this image here is smaller than this one, which means that it is gonna taper itself more towards that side and then get bigger more towards this side. With the legs, I'm gonna drag the legs a little bit, like this, and we can add some smeary parts to them. I'm just going to play a little bit with the perspective and size of this thing, and we don't want the lines to be too thick, because as you can tell right here, this leg is looking way too thick. Same with this head part here, and maybe I'll fix up the mouth a little bit too. And this should be pretty much good to go. Probably don't even need to add the arms. Maybe we can add one back here. Now I can go ahead and color everything in, and those are our 3 frames. As you can tell, it looks weird, but when done fast enough, you won't even know it's there. Alright, now bringing these images into our editing software, what we're going to do is we're going to grab this middle frame, the smear, and we're going to shrink it down to be a single frame of the video. And now if we watch this through, you'll notice that it gives the animation so much fluidity with just that single frame. Now let me show you what it looks like without that frame. See that? It looks pretty cheeks. It literally just switches from one frame to the other. But having that single smear frame gives it so much motion. If we have these 3 frames in the timeline, it works pretty well. But to level it up even more with very little effort, here's the secret tactic that I was talking about before. Basically, you're going to go to this first image here, just probably 2 or 3 frames before it actually goes into the smear. You're going to add a keyframe, and then later on you're going to add another keyframe. This last keyframe, you're going to move the image slightly in the direction of the smear. So here's how it'll look. It'll move a little bit in that direction, the smear happens, and then on this last frame we want to basically do the same thing in reverse. We want to add a keyframe at the start, then a few frames later we want to add another keyframe, and the one at the start is going to be easing out of that smear. So it should look like that. He's moving that way. So altogether, he's moving into the smear happens, and then he's moving out. And here's how that looks. Doesn't that give so much more movement? And all we had to do is add a couple of keyframes. Now, this tactic only really works when you smear the whole image, so it's not always practical when you're only smearing parts of the image, but if you're editing the video later on, you can implement this wherever you can to give the movement a bit more fluidity. So that's how to use smears. Even if you only use a couple of them each video, it adds a lot to the animation with very little work, so it's a great skill to know. Hope you found use of this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!